Left our discussion from the types of cell. Now today we are going to start from the type of organism. Okay. So now there are two types of organism. They are prokaryotes and eukaryotes, and these are not cells that we have discussed previously. These are not cells. These are the organisms. And in case of prokaryotes, they are made up of prokaryotic cell, and in case of eukaryotes, they are made up of eukaryotic cell. Then here the prokaryote cells of organism. Okay, listen. In case of prokaryotes, the cells of organism lack nuclear membrane. That means their nucleus do not cover any. That means their nucleic acid content do not cover any membrane around it, which do not separate its nucleic acid content from the cytoplasm. But in case of eukaryotes, their nucleic acid content remains separated from the cytoplasm. And nucleolus is the another specialized structure which is present inside the nucleus. That means in the nucleoplasm, the fluid content of nucleus. But that nucleolus is present in case of eukaryote, which was absent in prokaryotes. And one single chromosome is present as the genomic, which contains the genomic DNA in the prokaryotes. In the later on, I will show you another slide in which you can see the structure of prokaryotes. It will be better for you that you can see the diagram of your prokaryotic, one prokaryote. Look at here. Look at here. This one is the, look at here. You can see that this is the one prokaryotic cell. It is the bacteria. Here you can see that these three layer, look at here, this green layer and this yellow layer and this outer layer, these three layer composed the envelope of that prokaryote. That means here it is your bacteria, and these three layer helps in protection of the bacteria. And in today's class we'll learn about different parts of this prokaryote. Okay, and it consists, the outer layer is consist of capsule, and then inner to it is the cell wall, and then the plasma membrane, and inner the plasma membrane you can see the fluid content which is called as the cytoplasm. Okay, then the ribosomes are present in the tin structure set. Here you can see these are the ribosomes, which are membraneless organelle found in the cytoplasm of bacteria or the prokaryote. Then another type of here you can see that this red color structure is the nucleoid or the circular DNA. Okay, which is the main genomic DNA for the bacteria, and except that DNA they consist of such type of, look at here, such type of circular DNA which are floated in the cytoplasm, and this type of DNA are called as plasmid DNA. And now here these are the plasmid DNA. Now you can see that these some outgrowths are coming out from the outer body surface of bacteria. These are called as pili. Okay, and except pili, some other structures are also there. They are also called as the fimbriae. You will see. And for the locomotion of their bacteria, they have the tail-like structure. Here you can see this is called as bacterial flagellum. You can see that these are called as bacterial flagellum. Okay, and this circular DNA, look at here, this is the main genomic DNA for the bacteria, and this is called as nucleoid. Got it? Come to the next slide. Look at here, and here this one is the ultra structure of one eukaryotic cell, and here this diagram is showing the animal cell, and here you can see that animal cell has its outer covering. This is called as the, look at here, wait, that this part is called as the outer part. This one is the cell membrane, and here it is your, this blue color structure is your cytoplasm, and several organelles are present inside it, and this one is the, this yellow color structure is your nucleus, and inside the nucleus you can see this one is the nucleolus. Okay, and look at here, some membrane like structures are also extending from the inner layer of your nucleus. This one is called as nucleolus. This dense color structure present inside this one is nucleus, and this part is the nucleolus. And look at here, here this part is your endoplasmic reticulum that extends from the nuclear envelope. Okay, this part extends from the nuclear envelope, and then after some another structures are also present inside the cell. This part, these are also membrane bounded membraneless structure. They are called the Golgi apparatus, and such types are called as such type of structures. Now, though they are membranous structure and they are network of membranes present in the cell, they are called endomembrane network of the cell. Okay. Now see. Now come back to our prokaryotic cell. Generally, if you look the outer structure of one prokaryotic cell, generally the outer layer of prokaryote is your hard uh, glycocalyx layer. Okay, and sometimes when the bacteria, when it consists of the tight glycocalyx around its outer structure, okay, such type of bacteria are called as gram positive bacteria. You can see, look at here in this diagram, you can see, look this red color part, look this red color part, this is made up of glycocalyx, which is one carbohydrate. Okay, and if this is made up of one thick tight glycocalyx, that means if the glycocalyx units are arranged in tightly manner, it is called as capsule, which protects the bacteria from the outer antibiotics, like your antibiotics which can cause damage to the bacteria. So it generally prevents the antibiotics to enter into the bacterial cytoplasm. Got it? And when the glycocalyx loosely arranged, it forms the thin layer. When the glycocalyx are tightly arranged, they form the capsule, and when they are arranged loosely, they form the slime layer. Okay. Now look at here. Then after glycocalyx, another layer is present. Here, look at here that the blue color layer is present. Red color layer, the yellow color layer is present, that is called as your cell wall. Okay, the yellow color layer is the cell wall, and then after the green color layer is your cell membrane of that prokaryotic cell. And look at here, the cell membrane, sorry, the cell wall of your bacteria is made up of peptidoglycan. Remember, the cell wall of bacteria is made up of peptidoglycan. Okay, then that depending upon the thickness of the peptidoglycan, you can categorize the bacteria into two groups. One is gram positive bacteria, another one is gram negative bacteria. You can see this one is the gram positive bacteria. Okay, and what is gram or gram positive? Listen, there is one staining procedure which is called as gram staining procedure. By that gram staining procedure, you can use the stain which is called as the Gram's stain. So when the bacteria retains that gram stain means color, retains that gram stain, they are called as gram positive bacteria, and it occurs because of they have the thick cell wall. Listen, the gram positive bacteria, they have the thick cell wall, so that they can retain the gram stain. Stain means color. Okay, look at here the cell wall structure of the the cell wall structure of gram positive bacteria. Look at here, this one is the cell wall structure of gram positive bacteria. Look at here, this portion. Okay, this portion is the cell wall structure of gram positive bacteria, and it is made up of peptidoglycan along with teichoic acid. Okay, these two are the main composition of. You can take the screenshot. Okay, you can take the screenshot. Now look that in case of gram negative bacteria, what happens? Look at here, in case of gram negative bacteria, this is the structure of gram negative bacteria cell wall. Look at here, this one is the thick cell wall which is made up of peptidoglycan, and this one is a thinner cell wall. Sorry, this one is a thinner cell wall than that of gram positive bacteria. Here you can see very thin layer is at here. You can see, look at here, this one is very thin layer comparable to the gram positive bacteria, and it has one outer layer which is made up of your lipopolysaccharide. That means it is one sugar structure. Then here it is one, that means carbohydrate structure. It is one carbohydrate structure, lipopolysaccharide, and another one is your lipoprotein. It is the another protein structure. They both forms, that lipoprotein and lipopolysaccharide, they both forms the outer layer which is present above the polyglycans. Okay, this is the polyglycan is the composition of cell wall, remember, for the bacteria. Okay, fine. Now come to the next slide and look at here. The example of 1 gram negative bacteria is your Pseudomonas. Okay, and generally another stain is used during gram staining, that is called as counter stain, and that counter stain generally you can use safranin, which has the red color. And look at here, the Pseudomonas group of bacteria, they only retains the counter stain upon their cell wall instead of the main gram stain. So that because they have the thin cell wall, simply you have to remember here that the gram negative bacteria, they have the thin cell wall, and the gram positive bacteria, they have the thick cell wall. That's enough. Now look at here. Then after the bacteria, after we have completed the bacterial cell, first we have completed about the bacterial cell wall. Okay, no, the glycocalyx layer, this one is the glycocalyx layer. Then after we have completed the yellow color, this one is the cell wall, and this green color layer is called as the cell membrane or your plasma membrane for the bacteria. So we are going to start about the plasma membrane of bacteria. Now look at here, what is the function of plasma membrane? Generally, as you know that plasma membrane is semi-permeable in nature, so that the substances like food particles, here look at here, the food particles, chlorides, sodium, bicarbonate, and your yes, such materials can enter easily through the semi-permeable membrane of bacteria. And you can see that here, look at here, you can see here that one bulging structure is forming attaching to the cell membrane. Look at here, this part. Okay, this is called as mesosome for bacteria, and this one is the unique character of bacteria or your prokaryote. Now let's learn more about that mesosome. And here you can see that this one is the circular DNA, and these are the circular plasmids. Look at here, these are the circular plasmids. Okay, these are the genomic content for the bacteria, and we are going to learn about the mesosome. Okay, now look at here, where is mesosome? You can take the screenshot. Then after take the screenshot for the function of mesosome. Look at here, this the function of a mesosome is it helps in formation of cell wall, because cell wall is attached to the cell membrane. So and mesosome present below the cell membrane, so it helps in the function of cell wall and respiration, secretion process, expansion of surface area of plasma membrane, because it attaches with the plasma membrane, and enzymatic content, it contains the enzyme inside it. Then it helps in the replication of DNA, distribution of DNA to the daughter cell. Now look at here, then come to the outer side of the bacteria. Here you can see that the finger like projections are coming from the cell membrane. You can see, yes, these are called as pili. Okay, this is called as pili, and it is made up of one protein which is called as pilin. Pili is made up of one protein which is called as pilin. Okay, right, pili is made up of one protein which is called as pilin. Then the another structure is present. Look at here, that red color structure, these are called as fimbriae. But listen one thing, these two structures do not help in locomotion of the bacteria. It is help in attachment of the bacteria. Now come to the next slide. Now come to the genomic content of bacteria. Generally, the bacteria's genomic content, that means nucleic acid content, do not contain any nuclear envelope around it, so that it remains so specialized structure, okay, which is a single chromosome. Remember, genomic DNA for prokaryotes is a single chromosome. Here in case of bacteria, it is a single chromosome which are circular DNA, and except that some other circular DNA you can see such type of DNA are present. They are called as plasmids. Generally, plasmids helps in functioning of your antibiotic resistance, okay. And in biotechnological sector, the scientists are using plasmids for recombinant DNA technology and several other processes you learn in your higher classes. Yes, these are the plasmid, another group of circular DNA which is found external to the nucleoid, and this structure is called as genomic structure is called as your nucleoid, okay. Fine. Next, look at here. Here you can see that these green small structures, look at here, these green small structures are called as ribosomes, okay. And these ribosomes in case of bacteria are the 70S type. Generally, several types of ribosomes are there, and in case of prokaryotic cell, they have the 70S type of ribosome, and it consists of one 30S subunit and another 50S subunit, and S stands for Sedgwick's unit. A stands for Sedgwick's unit. Look at here. S, take the screenshot. A stands for Sedgwick's unit, okay, for the sedimentation coefficient. You learn later about sedimentation coefficient, and it indirectly is measures of density and size of chromosome. That means it is one unit. A stands for the Sedgwick's unit. Like you can use the unit for meter, centimeter. So A stands for here the unit to measure the density and size of ribosome. And here the ribosome in case of prokaryotes is 70S type, which consists of 170S upper subunit and 150S upper subunit, lower subunit. Okay, that means Sedgwick's unit. Okay, take the screenshot. Now move to the next slide. Now look at here. What is the function of that ribosome? And as you know that ribosome helps in protein synthesis. So it decodes the mRNA. Look at here. It decodes the mRNA that comes from that present inside the cytoplasm of your bacteria, and that ribosome, by decoding the messages present inside the mRNA. mRNA stands for messenger RNA. It carries the codes in the form of message, okay. So ribosomes when decodes the mRNA, it forms what? These proteins. And as you know that proteins are made up of amino acids, and when amino acids are arranged together, they form the proteins. And which amino acid will be arranged nearer to which amino acid, that message remains inside the mRNA, and which can be decoded by, that coded message can be decoded by ribosome to arrange the amino acids in certain sequence to form the required protein for the bacteria. This is about the RNA and the function of your ribosome. Now look at here. Except that the prokaryote cells have some inclusion bodies which contains water and some other chemicals inside it, and some other gas vacuoles are also present inside the bacteria, some kind of bacteria, that means in prokaryotic cell, that helps in storage of gas inside it, which increases the volume and maintains pressure inside the bacteria. And except that, you can see this one is the, look at that structure, it is called as the flagella. Look at here, this tail like structure is called as flagella, which helps in movement of bacteria from one place to another place. Yes, that flagella that extends from the inner layer. Look at here, from the cytoplasm to the outer side. Okay, now come towards the another two types of, and in case of eukaryotic cell you will learn much more in your upcoming classes. Wait, some of one animal cell, and under it you can see that here you can see this one is the diagram of your plant cell. Okay, and plant cell has the, look at here, let us discuss all these points briefly. That the, in case of animal cell, cell wall is absent. In case of plant cell, the outer cell wall is present around the cell membrane. And in case of animal cell, plastids are absent. That means generally there are three types of plastids, as you know. So no types of plastids are present in animal cell, but in plant cell plastids are present. And centrioles are present in animal cell, which are absent in plant cell. Okay, let me show you one comparable diagram. Wait, look at here, these are the diagrams. Look at here, you can see these are the two diagrams you can compare, but we have to first of all discuss all the points. Then centrioles are absent in plant cell. Centrioles, look at here, in case of animal cell, centriole helps in the formation of spindle fiber during cell division, which are absent in plant cell. Remember, centriole has the main function to produce the spindle fiber during cell division, which are absent in plant cell. In case, instead of centriole, plants have the polar bodies. Okay, they help in cell division. Now animal cell, in case of animal cell, the Golgi bodies are present, and plant cell, Golgi bodies are present, which are called as dictyosomes. Then the vacuoles are present in animal cell, which are very small. Even if, look at here, the spelling of dictyosome, look at here, they are called the dictyosomes. Okay, take the screenshot. And in case of animal cell, you can see that the vacuoles are absent, which are very small. Sometimes if the vacuoles are present, they are very small in nature. Okay, but in case of plant cell, large vacuoles are present, which can change its size, but they are comparatively much more larger than that of the vacuoles present in the animal cell. Then after, centrosome is present with one or two centriole. You can see later on, you can see that the centrosome, which is the unique feature of animal cell, it is look at here, the centrioles centrosome is present. Listen again. In case of animal cell, centrosome is the unique structure which contains centriole. Though the plant cell do not have any centrosome, so they do not contain any centriole. This one is the another progressive point for this previous point. Okay, another again I am discussing that centrosome is the unique feature which contains centriole, which centriole helps in cell division. Though the animal cell is though the plant cell is lack of centrosome, so ultimately it will not have any centriole. But in case of animal cell, they have the centrosome, which contains one or two centrioles inside it. Okay, now look at here, this one is a comparable diagram in case of two types of eukaryotic cell. This one is a plant cell, above cell, then another one is your animal cell. Now come to the next slide. You can see that here the point of difference between these two types of cell. You can take the screenshot. Then in case of the eukaryotic cell, they have another unique structure which is called as cytoskeleton. Like in case of your body contains one skeleton which helps you to arrange or align all the body organs in particular pattern that your body will be possesses certain shape. But in case of cell, they have the cytoskeleton which has these major four functions. Okay, The very first function is it gives shape to the cell. Then the next function is it aids in intracellular transport. That means it helps in intracellular transport. Aids means helps in intracellular transport. It helps transport means movement of particle inside the cell. That means inside the cytoplasm. Intracellular means inside the cytoplasm, the fluid content of cell. All the materials moves from one place to another place, that we have already seen. The amino acids are arranged to form protein. So the amino acid have to move to arrange in certain manner around the mRNA by the help of ribosome to form your protein. Okay, so this is the intracellular transport. So cytoskeleton also helps in intracellular transport, and it helps in mobility, that means movement of a cell. In case of amoeba you can see. Then it also provides the mechanical strength to the cell, as like your skeleton or framework. Then look at here, this one is the centrosome. Look at here, that centrosome diagram. I have kept the slide. This one is the centrosome. Okay, and this is present only in the animal cell, which is absent in plant cell. And these structures are the centrioles. Okay, and this part is called as the inner part of the centrosome is called as pericentriolar material. Okay, and you can see the arrangement, the structure of the centriole. Here two centrioles are present. In case of animal cell, sometimes it contains one or two centriole, but in the case of plant cell, the whole centrosome is absent. Okay, now come to the next slide and look at it. What is the function of that centrosome? It helps in the formation of flagellum. Flagellum means the tail. Centrosome is one membraneless structure. Okay, remember centrosome is the membraneless structure. So it is present in also prokaryotic cell and also in eukaryotic cell. In case of prokaryotic cell, those who bears, or in the eukaryotic cell, those who bear the flagella means tail. So their tail originates from the centrosome. That means centrosome helps in the formation of this tail. And in case of eukaryotic cell, it helps in the formation of this spindle fiber. Look at here, this spindle fiber, and this structure is your centrosome, and it contains the red color structure. Look at here, these red color structures are the centriole. These are the centriole. These red color structures are the centriole. Okay, and it is surrounded by your centrosome. Understood? And it helps in the formation of the fibers from it. Look at here, these are the fibers, thread like structure that are attaching to your chromosome, and these fibers are called as spindle fibers. These fibers are called as your spindle fibers. Got it? So these all occurs because of the function of these all occurs because of the presence of centrosome inside it. Okay, now come towards the next point of discussion, that is